Winter is coming, and this year it carries a serious warning. FEMA has issued an alert for the 2025 season, predicting a winter with the potential for extended power outages, significant food shortages, and major supply chain breakdowns. When faced with such forecasts, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but panic is not a plan. The key to navigating extreme weather is practical and affordable preparation. Taking simple steps now can make the difference between chaos and comfort when a storm hits. This guide is designed to help you build that resilience. We will walk you through FEMA's recommended checklist of 10 must-have items to ensure you and your family are safe and prepared for whatever this winter brings. Pay close attention, because many people overlook item number 3, and it could be one of the most critical. Let's get you ready. 1. Clean water storage, the foundation of survival. When disaster strikes in the winter, water is the single most critical resource for survival, yet it is often the first utility to fail. During a severe winter freeze or a grid-down scenario, municipal water mains can crack under pressure, and power outages can halt the pumps that deliver water to your tap. Without a reliable supply of clean water, your household's safety is compromised almost immediately. This is why FEMA's 2025 guidance places water storage at the very top of the priority list. You simply cannot survive without it, and during a crisis, scavenging for it in freezing conditions is dangerous and difficult. The official recommendation is straightforward but non-negotiable. Store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. For a standard family of 4, this means you need to have 12 gallons of water stored and ready to go before the first flake of snow hits the ground. This amount covers drinking needs as well as basic hygiene and sanitation. However, in extended outages, 3 days might not be enough. If you have the space, aim for a week's supply to ensure maximum resilience against prolonged infrastructure failures. Remember to account for pets as well. They need hydration just as much as you do. Proper storage is just as important as the quantity you keep. While it might be tempting to repurpose empty milk jugs for water storage, this is a dangerous mistake. Milk jugs are biodegradable and designed to break down over time. They also retain milk proteins that can harbor bacteria, turning your emergency water supply into a health hazard. Instead, invest in food-grade water containers designed for long-term storage. These are durable, safe, and often stackable. Keep these containers in a cool, dark place, away from direct sunlight and chemicals like gasoline or pesticides, which can leach through plastic over time. While commercially bottled water is a convenient backup, bottling your own tap water in appropriate containers is far more cost-effective and environmentally friendly. It allows you to cycle through your supply easily. A crucial pro tip, often overlooked, is the reliance on filtration system. Do not count on filtered pitchers or refrigerator dispensers during an emergency. These devices require water pressure to function. If the tap runs dry, that expensive filter is useless. Having a physical stockpile of water is the only way to guarantee hydration when the infrastructure fails. 2. Strategic emergency nutrition. Fueling your resilience. Once you have secured your water supply, the next priority is maintaining energy and warmth through proper nutrition. A severe winter storm can make roads impassable and close grocery stores for days, leading to the supply chain breakdowns warned about in FEMA's 2025 alert. Your emergency food supply needs to be robust, requiring no refrigeration and little to no cooking. The goal is to have a 3-day supply of non-perishable, ready-to-eat food that can sustain every member of your household without relying on the power grid. The best options for your emergency pantry are high-calorie, nutrient-dense foods that provide immediate energy. Canned goods are the heavy lifters here. Stock up on beans, tuna, chili, hearty stews, and ravioli. These items are excellent because they are pre-cooked and can be eaten cold right out of the can if necessary. While a hot meal is comforting, calories are the priority. Supplement these main courses with high-protein snacks like peanut butter, granola bars, mixed nuts, and dried fruit. These require zero preparation and are perfect for keeping energy levels high while you deal with the stress of the situation. Shelf-stable items like boxed milk, applesauce cups, and instant mashed potatoes, assuming you have a way to boil water, round out a balanced emergency diet. Building this stockpile doesn't have to break the bank. You don't need expensive freeze-dried survival meals. Your local dollar store is a goldmine for affordable emergency food. You can find canned meats, vegetables, and snacks at a fraction of the cost of specialized camping food. The key is to buy what you actually eat. There is no point in storing 20 cans of sardines if your family hates fish. Emergency situations are stressful enough without forcing yourself to eat unpalatable food. Storage management is vital to ensure your supply is safe when you need it. Rotate your stock every 6 months. A good habit is to check expiration dates when you change your clocks for daylight saving time. Avoid foods that require refrigeration after opening, as you likely won't have a working fridge. Finally, do not underestimate the power of morale. Mental resilience is key to survival. Include comfort foods like hard candy, chocolate, hot cocoa mix, and instant coffee. A small treat during a power outage can significantly lift spirits, especially for children who may be frightened by the storm. 3. The unsung hero. The manual can opener. This is the item most people miss, labeled as item UN3 on our list for a reason. In our modern electrified kitchens, we often take for granted the ease of pushing a button to open a can of soup, but when the power grid goes down in the middle of a blizzard, that electric can opener on your counter becomes nothing more than a paperweight. You might have a pantry full of life-saving food, beans, vegetables, soups, and stews, but if you cannot access it, that food is useless. It is a tragic irony to be surrounded by food you cannot eat because you lack a simple mechanical tool. A high-quality manual can opener is an absolute essential for any emergency kit. It is the key to unlocking your food supply. Unlike batteries or fuel, a manual opener requires only human effort. It is a low-tech solution to a high-stakes problem. The beauty of this tool lies in its simplicity and durability. For a cost of less than $5, you can secure a device that will last for decades. It takes up virtually no space and has no expiration date. It is the definition of a high-value preparedness item. However, simply owning one isn't enough. You must ensure it is functional and accessible. Many people have an old, rusty opener buried in the back of a junk drawer, assuming it will work when needed. Don't take that chance. Rust can cause the gears to seize or the blade to dull, making it incredibly difficult to open cans without spilling the contents or injuring yourself. A pro tip for preparedness is to buy a brand new, sturdy manual can opener specifically for your emergency kit. Test this new opener immediately to ensure it grips the can properly and turns smoothly. Once tested, store it directly with your emergency canned goods supply. Do not leave it in the kitchen drawer where it can be misplaced or borrowed for everyday use. Tape it to a box of food or place it in a dedicated emergency bin. Knowing exactly where it is when the lights go out eliminates panic and frustration. Remember, in a survival situation, access is everything. Don't let a missing $5 tool stand between your family and their next meal. 4. Off-grid cooking solutions. Heating without power. When the power fails during a winter storm, you lose more than just light. You lose the ability to cook hot meals and, perhaps more importantly, the ability to boil water. While you can survive on cold canned beans, a hot meal provides essential warmth to the body and a significant psychological boost. Furthermore, if your stored water runs out or becomes contaminated, the ability to boil water becomes a life-saving necessity for sanitation. Therefore, having a backup method to heat food and water is a critical component of winter preparedness. You need safe, reliable alternatives that function independently of the electrical grid. One of the most popular and efficient options is a single-burner butane or propane camping stove. These compact units are relatively inexpensive, easy to store, and can quickly boil water or heat a pan of soup. They offer a level of control similar to a gas range, allowing you to cook effectively. Another excellent low-tech option is Sterno gel fuel cans or portable chafing fuel. While they don't produce the high heat of a propane stove, they are incredibly safe for warming up canned foods and are very shelf-stable. They are often used in catering and can be bought in bulk cheaply. However, the introduction of alternative cooking methods brings serious safety risks that must be managed. The most critical warning concerns carbon monoxide, CO poisoning. CO is a colorless, odorless gas produced by burning fuel, and it can be deadly in enclosed spaces. Never, under any circumstances, use outdoor grills, camp stoves, or generators inside your home, garage, or basement. The accumulation of CO can kill a family in their sleep before they even realize there is a problem. Always use these alternative cooking methods in well-ventilated areas. Ideally, set up a cooking station outdoors on a porch or in a garage with the door wide open, provided it is safe from the wind and elements. If you must cook indoors, use only devices specifically rated for indoor use and ensure you have a battery-operated carbon monoxide detector nearby. Safety is paramount. The goal is to survive the storm, not create a secondary emergency. By planning your cooking alternatives now and understanding the safety protocols, you ensure your family can enjoy a hot meal safely, even when the world outside is frozen and dark. 5. Staying warm without power. Your body's first line of defense. During a winter power outage, the battle against the cold begins the moment your furnace goes silent. The temperature inside your home can drop to dangerous levels surprisingly quickly, making hypothermia and frostbite real and present dangers. Maintaining core body temperature is not just about comfort, it is a critical survival function. This is why having a comprehensive plan for staying warm without electricity is a non-negotiable part of your emergency preparedness strategy. Relying on your home's insulation alone is not enough, especially during an extended outage as predicted by FEMA's 2025 winter warning. You need a dedicated supply of items designed specifically to trap and generate body heat. Your warmth kit should focus on layers and insulation. Must-have items include thermal blankets, often called space blankets, which are made from mylar to reflect up to 90% of your body heat back to you. Wool is another essential material. It insulates effectively even when damp, making wool socks and blankets superior to cotton alternatives. Assemble a collection of warm clothing for every family member, including knit hats, insulated gloves or mittens, and thermal underwear. The goal is to layer up before you start to feel cold, as it is much harder to warm a cold body than it is to keep a warm body from getting cold. Flannel blankets and sleeping bags also provide excellent insulation. For an immediate burst of warmth, disposable hand warmers and microwavable heat packs are invaluable. You don't need to spend a fortune to build this kit. Thrift stores are an excellent resource for finding high-quality, affordable wool blankets and warm clothing. Check the housewares and clothing sections for gently used items that can serve as dedicated emergency supplies. Beyond clothing, simple pro tips can make a significant difference. Close off unused rooms to consolidate heat into a smaller living area. Use towels, blankets, or draft stoppers to block cold air from seeping in under doors and around windows. In a true emergency, you can even use old newspapers stuffed between layers of clothing or taped over windows for extra insulation. By creating a designated warm room and layering your resources, you can create a safe and relatively comfortable environment to ride out the storm. 6. The emergency radio, your lifeline to information. In the digital age, we have become accustomed to instant access to information through our smartphones. However, a severe winter storm can easily cripple this modern convenience. Cell towers can lose power, get damaged by ice, or become overloaded, leaving your phone with no signal. Internet services can go down with the electricity. In this information vacuum, you are left isolated, unaware of weather updates, road closures, emergency shelter locations, or official evacuation orders. This is where an emergency radio becomes your most vital link to the outside world. It is a reliable old-school technology that ensures you continue to receive critical alerts from authorities when all other lines of communication have failed. When selecting an emergency radio, look for specific features that enhance its reliability and utility during a crisis. The most important feature is access to NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration weather channels. These channels broadcast continuous weather information and emergency alerts directly from the National Weather Service, providing you with the authoritative updates you need to make informed decisions. Beyond this, a good emergency radio should have multiple power options. Look for a model that includes a hand crank and solar panels in addition to battery operation. This ensures you can power the device indefinitely, even if your battery supply runs out. Many modern emergency radios also come with a built-in flashlight and a USB port, allowing you to use the hand crank to generate a small amount of power to charge your phone for a quick emergency call. Simply owning an emergency radio is not enough. It must be ready to perform when you need it. A crucial pro tip is to test your radio regularly. Schedule a test every few months, perhaps at the same time you check your smoke detector batteries. Make sure you can tune into the local NOAA station and that all power functions, battery, solar, and hand crank, are working correctly. Store the radio in an easily accessible location along with its instructions and a spare set of fresh batteries. During a chaotic event, you do not want to be searching for a misplaced radio or discovering that its batteries are dead. This simple device is your lifeline, providing the information necessary to keep your family safe and aware until normal services are restored. 7. Reliable lighting solutions. Conquering the darkness safely. When a winter storm knocks out the power, the darkness can be disorienting and hazardous. Navigating your own home becomes a challenge, increasing the risk of trips, falls, and other injuries. A reliable and safe source of light is essential for performing basic tasks, maintaining morale, and ensuring overall safety. While candles might seem like a romantic and simple solution, they are a significant fire hazard, especially in a stressful emergency situation where they can be easily knocked over. FEMA and fire departments strongly advise against using candles for emergency lighting. The risk of a house fire, a secondary disaster, is far too great. The best and safest options for emergency lighting are modern, battery-powered devices. LED flashlights and headlamps should be the foundation of your lighting kit. LEDs are incredibly energy efficient, meaning your batteries will last much longer and they produce bright, consistent light without generating heat. Headlamps are particularly useful as they keep your hands free, allowing you to carry plaries, cook safely on an alternative stove, or tend to a first aid issue without having to juggle a flashlight. It is wise to have multiple light sources strategically placed throughout your home so you are never left fumbling in the dark. Consider giving each family member their own small flashlight. For children, battery-operated glow sticks or small LED lanterns can provide a comforting and safe source of light in their rooms. Powering these devices is a key part of the plan. Stock up on rechargeable batteries and a solar or hand-crank charger. This creates a sustainable lighting system that is not dependent on a finite supply of disposable batteries. For disposable batteries, a crucial pro tip is to store them in their original packaging in a cool, dry place to prevent them from losing their charge. Do not store batteries inside the flashlight for long periods as they can corrode and ruin the device. Check the expiration dates on your batteries every 6 months and rotate your stock. Having a well-thought-out lighting plan eliminates the dangers of open flames and ensures your family can function safely and confidently when the lights go out. 8. First aid and medications. Health preparedness and isolation. During a severe winter storm, access to medical care can be severely limited or entirely cut off. Icy roads may prevent ambulances from reaching you, and power outages can close pharmacies and doctors' offices. Minor injuries or a missed dose of essential medication can quickly escalate into a major health crisis. That is why having a well-stocked first aid kit and a secure supply of necessary medications is a cornerstone of emergency preparedness. You must be able to act as your family's first responder, capable of treating common injuries and managing chronic health conditions until professional help is available. Your first aid kit should go beyond a simple box of adhesive bandages. It needs to contain the supplies necessary to handle common injuries like cuts, scrapes, burns, and sprains. Essential items include sterile gauze pads, antiseptic wipes, antibiotic ointment, various sizes of bandages, medical tape, pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, and allergy medications such as antihistamines. Also include practical tools like tweezers for splinter removal, sharp scissors, and a reliable thermometer. Consider adding items specific to winter emergencies, like electrolyte packets to combat dehydration and hydrocortisone cream for skin irritation. Don't forget basic stomach remedies like antacids, as stress and changes in diet can cause digestive upset. For anyone who relies on prescription medications, securing an emergency supply is critical. FEMA recommends having at least a 7-day supply on hand. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about obtaining an emergency buffer supply. Many insurance plans and physicians will accommodate this request for preparedness reasons. Do not wait until a storm is in the forecast to try and refill a prescription, as pharmacies will be overwhelmed. Store your medications in a cool, dry place, safe from extreme temperature fluctuations. It is also vital to keep a printed, waterproof list of all medications, dosages, and the prescribing doctor's information for each family member. In the event you need to evacuate or communicate with a medical professional, this list will be invaluable. Taking control of your family's health needs ensures that a manageable condition doesn't become a life-threatening emergency during a storm. 9. An emergency cash reserve. When digital fails, in our increasingly cashless society, the idea of keeping physical money on hand might seem outdated. We tap our phones, swipe our cards, and transfer funds digitally without a second thought. However, during a widespread power outage, this entire electronic financial system grinds to a halt. Credit and debit card readers will not work, ATMs will go dark, and mobile payment apps will be useless. In this scenario, cash is king. It becomes the only reliable means of exchange for essential goods or services that may become available, such as fuel from a station running on a generator or supplies from a local store that manages to open. Having an emergency cash reserve is not about distrusting banks. It is about acknowledging the technological vulnerabilities that a severe winter storm can expose. FEMA recommends keeping a modest but meaningful amount of cash as part of your emergency kit. A good target is between $100 and $200. This amount is enough to cover immediate small-scale needs without making your home a target for theft. Crucially, this reserve should consist of small bills, 1s, 5s, and 10s. During an emergency, vendors may not be able to make change for a $50 or $100 bill. Having small denominations ensures you can pay the exact amount for a gallon of water, a bundle of firewood, or batteries without issue. The goal is transactional efficiency when resources are scarce and tensions are high. Proper storage of your emergency cash is just as important as having it. Do not simply stash it in a drawer. A pro tip is to protect your money from potential water damage from burst pipes or flooding by storing it in a waterproof container or a simple zip-top bag. For added security, consider using a fireproof container. It is also wise not to keep all your emergency cash in one spot. Distribute it across multiple secure locations. You might keep some in your primary emergency kit, a smaller amount in your car's glove compartment, and another small roll in the pocket of a winter coat. This distribution strategy ensures that if one location is inaccessible or compromised, you still have access to funds. This simple preparation can make all the difference in securing critical supplies when digital currency is nothing but a memory. 10. A family communication plan. Your blueprint for reunification. In an emergency, the fear of the unknown is often amplified by the fear of being separated from loved ones. A major storm can strike when your family is scattered at work, at school, or running errands. If cell service fails, as it often does during major events, you will have no way to contact them to ensure they are safe or to coordinate your actions. This is why creating and practicing a family communication plan is one of the most critical steps you can take. It provides a clear, pre-established blueprint for how your family will reconnect and communicate when primary methods fail. It replaces panic with a plan, giving every family member a sense of control and a clear set of instructions to follow. The first step in creating your plan is to choose an out-of-state contact. This person will serve as your family's central information hub. It may seem counterintuitive to choose someone far away, but local phone lines can become overwhelmed during a regional disaster, while long-distance calls may still go through. Every family member should have this contact's name and phone number saved in their phone and also written down on a physical card to keep in their wallet or backpack. In an emergency, each person calls the out-of-state contact to report their status and location. This contact can then relay information to other family members who check in. Next, you must establish predetermined meeting spots. Your plan should include at least 2 locations. The first should be a spot near your home, like a specific neighbor's porch or a landmark at the end of your street, in case of a sudden event like a fire. The second should be a location outside of your immediate neighborhood, such as a library, community center, or a relative's house in case you are unable to return to your area. Finally, write the plan down. Document the out-of-state contact's information, meeting locations, and any other critical details. Distribute a physical copy to every family member. A pro tip is to practice this plan regularly, especially with children, so that the steps become second nature. Make sure to include elderly relatives or neighbors in your planning, as they may need assistance. Additional tips. Making preparedness a sustainable habit. The idea of preparing for a major disaster can feel overwhelming, but it does not have to be an expensive or all-at-once project. The key to successful emergency preparedness is to start small and build your kits gradually. You can begin today with simple, high-impact actions. The next time you are at the store, pick up an extra manual can opener, a few extra canned goods, and a fresh pack of batteries for your flashlight. These small purchases, added to your regular shopping trips, can build a solid foundation over time. Once you have the basics, you can gradually add more significant items like water containers, a quality emergency radio, and a more comprehensive first aid kit. Preparedness is a journey, not a destination, and every small step forward makes your family safer. You can also be strategic about budget-friendly shopping. Your local dollar store is a treasure trove for preparedness supply. You can find inexpensive canned goods, batteries, basic first aid items, and sometimes even small single-burner stoves. Thrift stores are another excellent resource for finding affordable wool blankets, warm clothing, and sturdy outerwear that can be set aside for your emergency kit. You do not need top-of-the-line expensive gear to be prepared. You just need functional items that will get the job done when you need them most. Finally, preparedness involves maintenance and community. Set a recurring reminder on your calendar to check your supplies every 6 months. A good habit is to do this when you change your clocks for daylight saving time. Rotate your food and water, check the expiration dates on batteries and medications, and test your emergency radio and flashlights. Beyond your own home, foster a sense of community preparedness. Share information with friends and neighbors about your plans. During a crisis, a prepared community is a resilient one. By being prepared yourself, you are not only ensuring your family's safety, but are also in a position to help others, remaining a calm and resourceful presence in a time of need.